Dear learner, welcome to Page Object Model Session 3. This is Haradhan once again. In this session, you can learn how we can implement TestNG and we can add more business pages as a class in the pages package, and how we can add more test cases and assertion point to the framework which already covered in my first two sessions, right, with the help of page object model design pattern. Thank you all for watching my videos. In case you are enjoying my videos and learning automation testing and Java, please do like and share my videos. Do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as and when I will upload any new videos. Do not forget to provide your valuable comment for any input or suggestion. Stay tuned for my next video. Okay, so in my last two framework session, you already noticed, right, how we can create different packages, right, for implementing the page object model. So we have created 4 packages in the src main Java, right, folder: base package, listener package, pages package, utilities package. So as of now, we did not use the listener and utilities package. So we have created the test base class in the base package, where we have, right, written all the basics annotations or basics method or function for calling the appropriate browsers, and also we are launching the web page, right, where everything we are taking from that particular config file, right, which has been placed here in the properties file, config.properties, right. We are taking the browser's name, we are taking the URL, implicit type, everything in the test bus class, right. After that also we have created a method for closing the browser, and we have created a class Facebook homepage for the homepage of the Facebook, right, for all the methods, all the element we have identified. So if you go to the Facebook homepage, you can see here we have tried to identify, right, email field, password field, right, login button or sign in button, and also after entering like invalid details in the email and password fields. So whatever error message is displayed, so I am also capturing the error message. Also I have added some assertion point to verify the error message. So I have tried to figure out all the importance attributes in the that particular element locator class, right. Okay, and I have created the methods where I am not hard coding anything. Instead of that, I am passing the argument, so that during calling those methods in the main class, so I will just enter the required user ID and password. So these are the 4 methods I have created. 3 method is, one method is for entering email, one method is for entering password, one method is for clicking sign in button, one method for verifying the error message whatever is appearing in case any, right, invalid ID and password, email ID or password is giving in the Facebook page, and after clicking on the sign in page, right, sign in button. And in the, right, test cases package, right, com.form.test cases package, we have created a class called test Facebook page, right, where this is the main class where I am writing the test cases. So I am using the @test annotations, and also this is the method name. I want to enter user detail, my username and password, and after that you need to click on the error message, and in case any error message is there, definitely I am just doing some assertion point, right, so that I can validate in case error message is matching, so it will pass the test case. In case it is failing, in case not matching, it will fail the test case, and after that I am closing the browser. So that's what I have written in my first two session of page object model. So the session 3 is the continuation of session 1 and session 2. So if you do not go through session 1 and 2, please go through. After that, you please go through the session 3. Okay. So now in the email ID and password field, suppose after entering some wrong value here, right, okay, and after clicking on the sign in button, right, so error message is coming, and definitely we are validating the error message. We are doing some assertion point to validate that, right, in case error message is matching with the expected one, and definitely test case will be passed. Okay. Now as the user ID and password field is not valid, so I will click on the forgotten password link from that web page, right. So I will add one more method here, right, in the Facebook homepage, because this particular element is visible in the, right, in the Facebook homepage. So I will inspect the forgotten password. So let's press F12 button here, So you can identify the forgotten password properties, element locator, right? Properties. So you can see this is the link because it is starting with anchor tag, a tag. So I can inspect the element with the help of link, right? Link text. So I will use by and I will give the error message, sorry, the element name, right, which will be forgot password. So I will take it forgot password, and this is the link, so I will mention the link, right. I will inspect the element with the help of by dot link text, right, link text, where I can give the link of details of the link name, right. So it is the link name, complete link name, forgotten password I will mention here. Okay, so that's why I will create a web element, right, for the forgotten password link, right. Once the web element creation is done, then I will create a method, right, for clicking on that options. So I can copy paste that methods, right. So I will create a method for clicking on the forgotten password. So public void, and I am giving the method name as click for forgotten password. Okay, so that is the method name I am creating. Divert dot find element, then I have to give the web element reference. So this is the reference for the forgotten password link, right. I have identified that particular element with the help of link text, element locator technique, right. So I will be giving that reference. So now this is done, right. So in that particular Facebook homepage, so this additional field I have identified, right, where I have created a web element, and with the help of web element I have created a method, right, for clicking on the forgotten password link, right. Now after that, if you click on the forgotten password link, right, so it will open you another web page, right. So the web page is, you can see, recover Facebook login, right. Okay, so I will create another class, okay, because for each and every page class should be created. So that is the concept of page object model, right. So I will create a new class here in that pages com.form.pages packages. So I will create a new class, new and class, Java class, all will be Java class. So I am giving the class name as recover Facebook account. Okay, so that I want to recover, right, the details of password or user ID details, I want to recover it. So I am creating a class, new class, where I will be defining all the web element properties and also all the relevant methods, right. So here so I will enter the email ID and password. After that I will click on the search, whether we need to verify whether this is available or not, and I can reset my password or user details accordingly or not, right. So first I will inspect the web element, right, for entering the email ID or mobile number. So you can see name is email or ID with whatever unique identifier I can identify it, right. So I will identify with ID, okay, which is identify underscore email. So here I will create a web element, right. So with the help of by, then I am giving the web element name is identify email, and it is the text field. So I will giving as text, identify email text. Okay, then I will identify the element with the help of by dot, right, ID. And what is the ID? ID I am giving from here, right. This is the ID, identify email. So okay, this is done. So one element locator has been created, one element has been identified and it has been stored as web element identify email text. Then now I will inspect the element for search button, right. So you can see, so for the search button you can see name is come as did underscore submit. So I can identify the search button with the help of that particular reference, name reference, right, did underscore submit. So I will use similar way the by, and then I will give the web element name search button, and I will identify with the help of name. So by dot name, and I am giving the name. Okay, so it is done. So here let's give some random number. Okay, after that if you click on the search, okay, so some error message will be displayed, right, because I have given a random number, and after giving random number and clicking on the search button, so you have to validate the error message whatever is coming, right. Okay, so for the error message I need to create a XPath or CSS or relevant thing so that I can easily identify the error message. Okay, so if you expand it, so you can see something is coming, because only here text is available. So, okay, so I have to go from the parent levels, right. So this is my parent level, and this is my child, and this is also child, right. So I will first create a XPath for the parent one, right. If you see, if you select the parent, it is showing as no such result, and after that I will use following sibling, because these are all the child is under the same under the same parent. So I will be using, first let's create the first one. So it is a div class, so let's press Ctrl F, then press /div, and as it is starting with class, so I will be giving as @class equal to, I am giving the class name. So you can see this object is getting identified, right. If you press enter, no element search, no search result is coming, but I need to inspect that element, right. You search did not return any result, please try again with another information. So how can I create the XPath? So I have to give some slash, then as it is under the same parent, so I will be using following siblings, then dot following hyphen sibling. So that is the syntax, sibling, right. Then I need to give double colon, and then I can give the reference, right, tag, so div. You can see now only one element is coming. In case multiple siblings is there, still you can give the index, right. So I can give index 1 also. So you can see only that particular text is getting identified, right. So that's why you can create your custom XPath, okay, from the same, for the same parent with the help of other child, and you can use following siblings, and in case multiple siblings is there, you can use indexing. Definitely you have to use the tag. So next I am creating an web element by, okay, search error message. So in case you are clicking on the search button, so after with invalid details, so that error message is coming, right. So I am giving the element name as some search error message, and here I am identifying with the help of XPath, by dot XPath. You can see why we are using by here, right. In case we are using by dot XPath or link text, you can see return type is by. That is the reason we are using return type as by here. Okay, so I will be using XPath, and I am giving the XPath, complete XPath. So now 3 element has been identified. Definitely this is the first one element, this is the second element. After that invalid details, if I click on the search button, so error message is coming. Also I want to capture the error message, right. Okay, then now I need to write method, right, for entering the mobile number or username as after the clicking on the search button, and to verify the error message details. So I will be creating a method here, okay, one by one, right. So first method public void, and then creating the method name as enter email for search, or phone number, right, enter email or phone for search, and you need to close with first bracket, and the method body will be there in the second bracket, right. Here whatever you will be doing, right, and here I can pass some parameter, right, because whatever mobile number or email I want to give it, I will be passing as parameter. I will not hard code anything. So I will be giving data type as string, then I am giving the variable name, right, email address or phone number, right. You can see, please enter your email address or phone number. So I am giving the variable as email or phone, okay. Then I will be identifying the element driver dot find element, okay. Here I did not extend the base class, right, because you know, right, whenever you are creating any web page, right, that is the reason driver is not coming here. After pressing driver, you can see driver.find option is not coming, right. So because I did not extended the base class, so the logic is whenever you are writing right, working with the page object models, right, frame, I mean design pattern, and in case you are creating a new page for different pages, right, new class for different pages, you have to extend the base class, right, because in the base class I have declared all the diver details, right, and I have declared the divers, all the object or variables for WebDriver properties file. I am reading the properties file, I am capturing everything, right, I am initiating the driver, I am initiating the URL launch, I am passing the URL like everything, right. So I have to, right, extend that particular class, right. So whatever package, sorry, whatever class I will be writing for new page, so I have to, for each and every class I have to extend the base class, extends base class. Okay, now after that I need to import it, right, base class from the relevant package, because com.base package, test base is available, com.base you can see here, so I need to import it. After that, if you press driver and then dot, you can see, right, find by is coming. So find by, here you can see all the reference, right, element reference, right. These are the web element, you can see web element reference is coming, right. So I will be giving the option as identify email text, right. Then I want to send keys. After that you can see, so whatever keys you want to send, you will be giving the argument, right. That's why you will create one method for entering the email address or phone. Then I will create another method, right, for clicking on the search button, right. So I will be creating another method, driver, sorry, public void, okay, and then I am giving the method name. Okay, so method name will be click search button, click on search button. Then I will be giving the body within the double bracket. Okay, I need to give another bracket here. Now I will identify the element, search element, driver dot find element, right. So I will be identifying with the search button reference, web element reference. Then as it is a button, right, I need to perform click. So that's why I have done another method, right. Then I will be writing another method for verifying the error message, whatever error message is coming, right. So I will be using public, then method name I am giving, right, get search error message. Okay, and here how you can identify the error message. So I need to give some second bracket. You can see here some error message, error is there because I either need to use void or need to give some return type. So I will give it return type later point of time. First let's identify the element, divert dot find element, right, and you can see search error message. Then I have to get the text, right, dot get text. And so if you use get text, okay, what is the return type? Is string, right. So return type will be string. So I will be storing in some string and search error message, string, that variable I want to store it. Okay, string search error message equal to divert dot find element, okay, and dot get text, right. And then return type is string, so I need to return it, right. So I need to return that, as we are storing some return, I mean string, so I will return it, return. Okay, then you can see the error message is gone here. Change it to find elements, no, sorry, here get tag name, I need to give get text, not tag name, dot get text, dot get text. Why it is not coming? Let's remove this. Find element dot divert dot find element, search error message, this is the, okay, let's remove it, driver dot find element, and then I am giving the reference as search error message. Then I will be getting the text. What is the problem? I want to get the text dot If I am pressing dots, nothing is coming. Dot get text. Okay, let's remove it. So I'll be identifying driver dot find element, then this is the element name dot get text. Okay, get text. Okay, return type you can see get text, and as it is the text, so I'll be storing into some string. And what is the variable name? Search error message, right, equal to. Okay, and I'll be returning it. Okay, I want to return it. Okay, now you can see error message is gone. string string, change it to find element. Why? By XPath, it is correctly everything only. Okay, let's give the type as string, and let's see whether error message is gone or not. Okay, because I was giving the same name right here with that element name, that is the reason it is not taking and is throwing some error. Now it is fine because I was giving search error message name, so I have giving the name as search message, so now it is fine. Okay, now I also need to return the error message, right? So I will be I need to print out the error message, so I need to print it. SO, then I also printing out the error message whatever is coming, right? So these are the three methods I have written for the next page, right, which is like recovery email, recovery password, right, Facebook recover, Facebook login. So I have given the name of the page class as recover Facebook account, so I have created a new class and I am extending to the test based class, right, and here I have identified three elements. One is for entering the email ID or text field, then clicking on the search button. After that, whatever error message is coming, so I also want to get the error message, and I also just want to get the error message, right? So I have I identified all the element with the help of three web element given here, and with these three web element, so I have created three method. One is for entering the details, right, email or phone numbers, and after that I need to click on the search button, so I have written a method. After that, whatever error message is coming, I need to get that error message definitely, right? I print the error message in the same method, right? So this is done, right? Now I can use the same thing in the same test case. Okay, I can call everything, or maybe I can create a new test case. Okay, let's create a new test case, not the page, right? So I will be creating a new class where I will be creating a new test case, right? So the class name I am giving as reset Facebook password. Okay, and here I will be creating a method, right, so that I will call all the methods from both the class whatever I have created, Facebook homepage as well as recovery Facebook. Okay, and then I will create my own test case. So I am creating a method public void, and method body, method name I am giving as reset Facebook password. That is the syntax, and here it is a test case, so I need to use @test annotation, right, so that it will be test case. Okay, some error message is coming, so we need to import, right, the from @test annotation from org.testng.annotations. Okay, now what are the operation I am performing for the Facebook page? Let's open the Facebook page once again. So what are the operation I am performing? I need to enter email and I need to enter password, and then, right, I need to click on the login button. After that I can validate the error message or not. After that I will click on the forgotten password link. Okay, so this all the method has been written in the Facebook homepage, right? So I need to create a object or instance for the Facebook homepage in the test case, right? I will be creating an object, Facebook home page, that is the object I am creating, equal to new Facebook home page, right? Then I need to first, so I need to import Facebook home page, right, from the com.pom.pages packages. So after that I can use that reference, right, FHP. Okay, if I press dot, first I need to call the method for test base, right, for launching the browser and passing the URLs, maximizing it. So I will be first calling that particular method dot test base, right. After that, once the page launch is successful, then I will be calling for entering the email ID and password, these two methods, right. Okay, so enter email, right, where I can pass some email, okay, test anything, okay. Then I will be entering the password, so I will be using that object dot, right, enter password. So I will be entering some password, anything I want to. Then after that I will click on the sign in button, FHP dot click on sign in, right, click on sign in. Then after that I am not verifying the error message because that is already covered here, right, in that particular test case. So that is already covered, so I already verified, so I have created a test case for verifying it. So I will be just clicking on the forgotten password link, right, FHP dot click forgotten password link, right. After that it is going to the next page, right. So after, if I click on the forgotten password link, it is going to the next page, right. So the next page is for the next page I have created a class for recovered Facebook account, right. So I need to go to the recovered Facebook account class, right, and here I have written three methods, okay. So first I need to create an object, right, in the test case for that class also. I will be creating an object recovered Facebook account, recovered Facebook account. This is the variable I am creating or object I am creating for that class, new, then the class name. Okay, once it is done, you can see some error message is coming. We need to import the class, right, recovered Facebook account Java class from the com.pom.pages, right. This is the package, I need to import it. Okay, after import is done, then I need to call the method for entering the email or phone number, right. Okay, here I can give the email or phone number, so I will give the same thing, right, because for this email it does not exist, so I will be entering the same thing. Okay, so after that I will click on the search button, right. So RFA, that object reference, dot we need to click on the search button, right. So I have clicked on the search button, right. So that is done. Okay, now if you enter here that particular email or phone number, right, and after click on the search button, so whatever error message will be coming, right, you can see here the error message is coming, your search did not result any result, sorry, your search did not return any result, please try again with other information, right. So that is your expectation, right, and where actual is based on the method you have written here, right. Okay, so you will be calling that method, right. So after that you need to call that method RFA dot emails get search error message. So that method I am calling, right. So you will get the text after calling the method, right. So you will be storing in some string, right, error message, right. Okay, error message, that's variable I am creating. Okay, now you can see. Okay, then I want to validate the error message with that expected one, right. So I need to use some assertion. Assert, I will use hard assert. assert dot assert equal. Okay, I am giving the first argument, that is my actual, right, whatever is coming, then I will give the expected one. So this is the expectation, right? So I can store it another string, or directly I can give it. Okay, so in case it is matching, so I am giving it directly. So your whenever that error message is coming, I will be matching. This is my actual error message, so I want to match with the expected one. In case it is matching, test case will be passed, right? And after that I can quit the driver. Okay, or you can't quit the driver. If you don't want to quit, you will not use the quit method, right? After that I will use right, that object reference FHP, right? FHP dot quit the browser. So you can see that method is available. Close or quit the browser, whatever method we have written. So it will close the page. Okay. Now let's run the script and let's see how it is behaving. So it will launch the Chrome browsers. It will maximize the browsers. It will pass the URL for Facebook page. It will enter the URL and password. After that, it will click on the sign in button. Error message will be there. After that, it will click on the forgotten password link. After entering the user ID password, it will click on the login button. Then error message will be coming. Then after that, it will click on the forgotten password link. Okay, you can see it is clicking on the forgotten password link, right? It navigating to the next page. After that, entering the password, email or phone number, then it is clicking on the search button. Some error message is coming, then it's validating, and in case it is matching, so it is not closing your browser. So it has been happened very fast as you quit the browser. So if you don't want to close the browser, just I will comment out the line and let's run it once more again. Okay, so that you can see the error message in the page as well. So browser will not be closed. So you can see the error message because here my test case has been passed. So that is the reason, because like expected and actual result is matching, right? Error message is matching. So now it is entering the email ID and password. After that, you will click on the login button. Error message will be there as like password and ID is not valid anymore. Okay. After that, you will click on the forgotten password link. Okay, so there is some problem because sometimes same script can be fail, right? Okay, you need to run it once more. Let's close the page, whatever has been opened by my script. Let's run it once more and let's see how it is behaving. So it is launching the Chrome browsers. It will maximize the browsers. It will enter the email ID and password. You will click on the login button. After that, error message will be coming. Then it will try to find out the forgotten password link. It will click on that link. It will enter the email ID or phone number. It will click on the search button. You can see some error message coming, right? Your search did not return any result, right? Please try again with other information. And you can see now test case is passed because that was our expectation. And the whatever error message is coming is matching with that. That is the reason now it is getting passed, right? And now if your expectation is not matching, so it will fail the test case. Now it is getting passed. You can see here, right? Default shoot, default test, and this is the page package name dot class name, right? So com.form the test case is the package name and the class name is reset Facebook password, and method name I have written in that particular class is reset Facebook password, right? You can see here everything is passed, right? And total number of elapsed time is 28 seconds, 841 millisecond. And if you go up here, you can see the details, right? Total number of run 1, failure 0, and you can see test case is passed, and you also error message also printed out, right? And this is matching with the expected result. That is the reason test case is passed. Okay. Now suppose you have two test cases, right? One is test Facebook page, right? This is the one test case. Just you need to validate the error message after entering invalid credentials, ID and password. This is one test case. and this is the another test case where you'll be entering email ID password wrongly. After that you click on the sign in button, then you are navigating to the forgot password link, right? And then you are entering email ID or password, then you click on the search button, and after that, after entering invalid details, you are verifying the error message. So this is two different test cases. Now say you need to run the test case in a single shot instead of running from test class level. So if you see here, you only run the one class at a time, right, with the help of testng test, right? But I want to run all the class simultaneously, okay, at a single shot, right? Test Facebook page class as well as reset Facebook page class. Okay, let's close all this thing here because this will not be required right now. Right now these both the class I want to run in a single shot. Okay, so that can be possible in two way, right? One is I can run first, I need to create a testng XML file. After that I can run from the testng XML file, so that testng suite will be I can call, right, testng suite method. Also with the help of pom.xml file, with calling the testng XML reference, I can run it. Okay, so now I will, in this session I will show you how to create a testng class. So right now all the class are Java class, right, and the project is also Java project, right? So first you need to convert the project to Java to testng, Java project to testng. So you need to select the project and then you need to click on the testng options, then you can convert it to testng, right? And here previously you can see something default suite and default test is coming, because there was no such option was there to entering any suite name or test name. But now you can give some suite name and test name, right? So suppose suite name I am giving as Facebook page, okay, and test name is giving that, I am giving that Facebook login. Okay, now you can see immediately pom.xml file is getting created right here. Okay, and how many classes is getting added automatically? You can see here two classes getting added, right, but third class is not getting added. Rap.test, there is another class is available, right? Okay, but this is not added. Why it is not added? Also this is the class. Why this is not added? Because I did not use @test annotation in any of the class, right? I only used @test annotation in only two classes. One is test Facebook page and one is reset Facebook password. That is the reason two classes by default coming here, right? And you can see here after entering the suite name and page name, it is also getting updated, right? Suite name and page name is getting updated accordingly. Okay, so that is the reasons only two classes coming here at the pom.xml file. Okay, so I will just take the classes. So this is the syntax. Whenever if you want to give multiple classes in a single run, you have to use classes tags, and then another classes tag you have to use class tag, where you need to give the name, and name will be package name dot class name, right? This is the syntax, and you can give suite name and test name, right? So suite name and test name if you create from the scratch level, so it will be coming from here. After that if you click on the finish button, right, so immediately here you can see one testng for XML file will be created here, right, under the pom.xml file. So if you open it again, you can see that particular part, right? So this is the suite name I have given, this is the page name I have given, so test name, and these are the both class has been included because these are the class is having @test annotation, right? These are the classes having @test annotation. If you open the rap.java class, you can see there is no @test annotation was there. That is the reason it is not being included here. Okay, if you include any other classes which is not having any test annotation, @test annotation, so it will not be executed, right? So now if you right click at any of the class level, and if you right click here, right, you can see option is coming called testng test, right? But if you select the testng XML file and if you right click here, the option will be coming as testng suite, right? Now if you run your program, so both the classes whatever has been added to the testng XML file, it will be running, okay, based on the alphabetical order, right? R and T. First reset Facebook page class will be running, and then test Facebook page class will be running. Let's run it with the help of testng suite, so that my both the classes will be running and both the test cases will be executed at a single shot. Okay, so you can see it is opening the Facebook page. Sorry, it is opening the browser, then it is maximizing the browser after entering the Facebook page URL. It is maximizing the browsers, Okay, then it will try to enter the email ID and password field. It will click on the login button, right? And after that, it is clicking on the forgotten password link because the fast recovery part is getting executed fast, right? You can see after that, for this test case we did not quit the browser. That is the reason browser is not getting closed. After the next test case is getting executed, which is Facebook login. Here it is entering the email ID and password, clicking on the login page, validating the error message. After that, it will quit the browser, right? You can see quit the browser because this is the objective of the two test cases we have written, right? So first, based on the alphabetical order, reset Facebook password class is getting executed, right? What is the objective was there? I am opening the page, I am entering email ID password, clicking on the sign in button, clicking on the forgotten password link, right? Entering the email ID or password, clicking on the search button. After that, I am validating the error message, but I am not quitting the browser. Okay, so that is the reason browser is still open and you can see the error message. And for the other test case, based on the class given in the test.xml file, test Facebook page. This is the class where we are opening the Facebook page, right? Then entering the email ID password, click on the sign in button, then error message is coming, we are validating the error message, right? And both is matching. That is the reason my both the test cases pass. And you can see here both the test cases has been executed, right? And you can see here, right, your should name is getting updated based on the defined should name available in the test.xml file. Facebook page is should name, and you can see method is number is 2, right? And that test case name is Facebook login, right? This is the test case name, and these are the different class name, package.class, and this is the method name. So based on the alphabetical order, reset factory class is executing first. So this is the method name, reset Facebook password, and test Facebook page is executing then that class, and this is the method name, right? So now it is working fine, right? If you go to the details console file, you can see first method is getting here, your search did not return any result, and it is matching, right? That is the reason it is getting passed, right? And the next test case for validating the details after entering the email ID password wrongly and click on the sign in button. So then next is coming, you can see the email address or phone number that you have entered does not match, sign up or next. So that is the expectation, right? So it is matching absolutely. That is the reason it is working as expected, right? Now if you want to change anything, so it will be fail, right? A particular test case can be failed, right? Okay, now let's change it to 1. String error message expectation is 1 instead of that. So it will fail one test case. Okay, instead of sign up account, I am mentioning as 1, right? And let's save it. Okay, and now instead of Chrome browser, I want to run it in the Firefox browser, so I will be making it Firefox. Okay, now let's save the config file, and now let's run it again from the test.xml file. So one test case will be fail because this method will fail because the expectation will not match here. I have given additional 1, and other test case will be passed. So if you want to run it from the test.xml file, so reset Facebook password, that class will be executed first, then other class test Facebook page class will be executed first, and definitely relevant method under the each and every class. So it will open the browser in Firefox because I have made the changes as browser equal to Firefox in the config.properties file. You can see Firefox browser is getting open, right? Mozilla Firefox.firefox.exe. After that, maximizing the browsers, it will load the page for Facebook page, and it will try to execute for the first method, right? Reset Facebook password. So it will enter URL password, click on the login button. After that, it will click on the forgotten password link. It will enter the email ID password, click on the search button. After the browser will not close. Then again it will try to execute another test case. So another browser will be open. You can see another browser is open, getting open. So it will open the browser, it will launch the, it will load the Facebook page, it will try to enter email ID and password, it will click on the login button, it will take the error message. After that, it will try to validate the expected and actual one, but a second test case will be failed, right? Our expectation in the I have made a sign up for an account 1, but it is coming as that part, okay? And it will quit the browser, but it will not quit because I have made assertion. In case any hard assertion is getting failed, your next relevant test case will be not be passed. So that is the reason it is better to use soft assertion. So if you are not familiar, you can refer my videos for the assertion where I have mentioned everything about hard assertion and soft assertion. So I can let you know again. Here you can see now it's see total number of test cases is passed, right, 2, total number executed 2, failure 1. Okay, why it is failure? Test case home Facebook page is failure because you can see, right, it is expected is that and actually you have mentioned as 1, you have given 1, so that is the reason it's not matching, right? So it is getting passed. So as we have added hard assertion here, right, assert equal, so the next line of code is object.close browser is not getting executed. That is the reason both the browser is open, right? So in case you can still use soft assertion, right, for verify. So how you can use the soft assertion so that your next line of code will be executed. So instead of assert and dot assert equal, so I will be using soft assert class, right? So I will be creating object or instance for the soft assert class. Then I will be use that object reference, and then after that I need to at the later point of time at the end I need to use assert all methods, right? So that soft assertion method will be called, and definitely objective will be same. It will try to match with the expected actual result, but your execution will not be stopped, and it will also execute the next line of code, and your browser will be closed, right? So instead of hard assertion, okay, in the test Facebook page, so I will create soft assertion, right? So let's run it with soft assertion. Okay, so I will be using creating an object or instance for the soft assert class. Okay, SA equal to new soft assert. You can see some error message is coming. We need to import soft assert from the org.testng.assert class, and after that I will use the reference, right, to verify the assertions, right? And after that I need to use assert all method so that soft assertion will be successful and the next line of code will be executed in case of failure as well. And now in the first test case, let's comment out the close browser. So it will close the browser for the first test case, and for the second test case, though it is failing, it will still close the browser because we have used the soft assertion. Okay, so let's modify the thing and let's run it once more, and let's see whether both the browser is getting closed, though test case is getting failed. One test case is getting failed, right? So it will try to execute for the first test case based on the alphabetical order, right? Class available in the testengine.xml file, reset Facebook password, that class will be executed, under which, right, we have tried to reset the password. So it will open the Firefox browsers, it will try to enter the URL for Facebook page. Once the page is fully loaded, it will enter the email ID and password field which is not valid, and it will click on the sign in button. After the sub error message will be coming, it will click on the forgotten password link. Okay, then it will enter the mobile number or email here, and click on the search button. After that, quitting the browser, you can see here. After that, again it will try to execute the next test case, which is test Facebook page, where the error message expected and actually will definitely not match, and you can see first test case is getting passed here, right? After that, you will open again the Firefox browser, it will load the Facebook page properly. After that, you will try to enter the email ID and password, it will click on the sign in button, then it will try to validate expected error message with the actual error message, and it will not match, so test case will be failed. But as we have used soft assertion, so it will close the browsers. Okay, see, it will close the browser. Okay, it is not closing the browsers. Okay, because of the failure. Okay, so I have to use sa.assert in the last step instead of first step, so that it will quit the browser. Okay. Okay, you can see a failure is there because the expectation 1 sign up for an account, but I have given here to account 1. Let's run this one more after changing the code from the testng.xml file. So I will change the config file again to Chrome instead of Firefox. So it will be running in the Chrome browsers, both the test case. It will execute first test case first, reset Facebook password, and browser will be closed. It will enter email ID password, click on the login button, then it will click on the forgotten password link, then it will try to enter the email ID and click on the search button, then it will quit the browsers, right? It will try to execute the next test case, it will launch the Chrome browsers, it will maximize the browsers, it will enter email ID and password, it will click on the login button, it will try to validate both the expected and actual error message, then it will quit the browser. You can see quit is happening. So we have to use assert method at the last of the steps, right, in that particular class or in the particular test case. So you can see both the browser has been closed, one test case is getting failed because of that particular error message is not matching. You can see. So that's why, right, you can create more pages, right, you can identify the element, right, with the help of the element locator, right, by and given the element locator. After that you can create multiples, whatever element method is there in the web page levels class, and then you can create multiple test case and the packages, right, and after definitely you can use it. And if you want to run multiple test cases in the same time, right, instead of going one by one, so you need to import, right, you need to convert the Java project to TestNG project, and you need to create your TestNG XML file where you can give your name and Facebook login, test name and suite name accordingly, and you can exclude or include any of the class name. If you have 10 class, if you want to execute 2 class, you can give only 2 class, right. If you want to execute all the class, you are having 10 test cases, you can need to give all the class name. But whatever class is having @test representation, definitely those class will be affected, otherwise not, right. And if you want to change something, browser like implicit timeout, you can change it from the configure properties file, right. So later in the coming session, I will try to include more details in the framework, how to read the data from the external source, right. We have created the data tab, test data folders, how to create loggers, how to create external reports, like that. So I mean in the coming session I will try to cover it. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Thank you.